Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the New England Sports Center for Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. As tonight they take on the Westwood Wolverines. Tom Nappy alongside Morgan Donahue, the voice of the Westwood Wolverines. And tonight, we will be broadcasting this game together. Morgan, a great night for the season opener. Hopkinton, Westwood, great rivalry. Should be a lot of fun tonight.
Absolutely, Tom. Thank you for having me, and expecting nothing but a terrific hockey game, physical hockey game against two teams that want to win the TVL Large.
Absolutely. Hillers in the white, Westwood in the green, and we are underway. Quite an interesting national anthem they just had.
Some shredding going on.
I think they played the wrong one. And Westwood driving in, and how about that? Nolan Lewis, right off the bat, drives in and goes 5-hole.
You know, Tom, I just gave his dad a pound as he was walking by. By the way, I think it's his father's birthday today. Also, Sebi O'Brien's birthday. But Nolan Lewis, sophomore, very high IQ. One of the things I noticed already this year from him, speed. Right there, right off the bat, going outside, took it to the net, put it in the back of the net for the first goal, and the Wolverine first goal, go up 1-0.
Great start for the Wolverines. And that score comes very early in the first period, about 30 seconds in. In Hiller territory, along the far side, trying to set it up, Brady Dumais. Hillers get it back.
So, Tom, this is the Donovan line. Number 20 is Tim Donovan, captain for the Wolverines. Number 7 is brother Matt Donovan. So we call it the Donovan line. You know, two talented kids coming off a really good year last year for the Wolverines.
Very nice. Along the far side now. Well, Morgan, I mean, if you're Westwood, you're feeling good. I mean, that's one way to get the season started off.
Absolutely. I mean, I think getting that first goal is huge. You know, it gets some momentum going early, and you start playing your game. And I think that's certainly what you want to do on the road, too. You know, it was a little wait in between games. But before there was, Pope John and St. John Shrewsbury.
Right.
But, you know, once you hit the ice, you want to hit the ice flying. That first goal is a great way to start for the Wolverines on being the away team.
Absolutely. And Westwood doing a nice job keeping it in Hiller territory for the moment. And lots of new faces on this Hiller team. We'll talk more about that in just a moment as we're going to get a whistle here and we'll have a face-off.
So, Tom, last year, Hopkinton went 2-0 versus Westwood. Hopkinton's record 2024, 14-4-2. Pretty darn impressive. 18 seed in the D2 tournament. Westwood 12-8-1 last year on their season. They were the 22 seed. First round matchup was Boston Latin, the D2 state champ. Had a terrific year last year.
Absolutely. The Hiller team certainly has big hopes for this season, as I'm sure Westwood does as well. A lot of good experience returning on both sides, and it's looking like it's going to be another season with a very competitive TVL, as coming around the net and taking the backhander was Sean Blomquist, the captain, and a good save in net
save
by Colton Spavento, the sophomore goaltender.
He kept that pad on the post. That was terrific. You know, you got to have some pretty good strength to keep it on the pad, especially when someone's coming full bore like Blomquist, big strong kid for the Wolverines.
Along the far side now. We got Colton Spavento in net for the Hillers, Jack Holland for Westwood. That's your goaltender matchup. And there's a good save there by Holland.
You might remember Holland on the football field, Tom, this year. He was the captain, he was the quarterback for the Wolverines and one of the TVL Large All-Stars for football this past season.
He has some skills, I would say.
Yes, he could air it out. They like to throw the ball.
Along the far side, trying to set it up, is Rolf. Sent back to the boards by Sam Spavento. Up along the near side now, jammed up in the corner. Up and around it goes. Sent back to the near side corner towards Sullivan. And it was a nice job intercepting that attempted pass at the line by Rivera, but he fires and misses.
Jumped right in. I think the ice is still somewhat freezing after the Zamboni, so I think it messed up the flow of jumping in on that puck.
So I'll tell you, Morgan, we got a glimpse at a very good St. John's game that happened before this. And not even 5 minutes after that game, they were ready to start this one. So a lot of running around we were doing here to get ready.
Shout out to you, Tom. What you did to put everything together within that 5-minute time frame is remarkable. With connecting, it's not just connecting the systems and the power, you got to connect to the network. You got to get the audio going, You guys, unbelievable how you did that in such a short amount of time.
Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate that. We wish we had a little more time, I'll tell you. Yeah, here comes Westwood flying up the ice. That's Ryan, Connor Ryan. Along the end board, sending it around, Brady Dumais.
Brady Dumais, one of the senior leaders for Westwood. He's been playing on the varsity squad the last 3 years. Keep an eye on him, folks. One of the top defensemen in the TVL and even, mass hockey. Very smart kid, good skater, good visibility, and, just loves the game of hockey, and you can tell.
Well, you must have read my mind. I was just about to ask you, who should we keep an eye on the Westwood side? Ooh, there's a wrister, a little high there.
So a lot of different players for Westwood. Brady Dumais on defense. Sean Blomqvist. Timmy Malloy's a guy who's a great finisher for the Wolverines. Shot on net there by Timmy Donovan, a guy to watch as well. Matt Donovan. Timmy Malloy not in the lineup tonight. He's sick. So Timmy, I know you're watching back home. Hope you get well soon. Get some fluids in your kid. And I know the Wolverines are playing for you. And
there's Nolan Lewis sending it over. That shot by Fengler is deflected away.
So Fengler's a freshman, playing in his second varsity game. Looked terrific the other night versus Holliston Ashland.
Along the far side, the Hillers trying to clear the zone as Westwood in the midst of a change. Bringing it around now. And Sullivan keeping it in Hiller territory. Into Westwood's zone, picked up by Dumais. He'll send it back into Hiller territory. A lot of back and forth to start this game.
A lot of feeling out. Both teams kind of feeling out each other's systems and whatnot. And, that's why you always see a lot of hitting, just trying to get the nerves out of them. And, they're getting a feel for each other right now.
Parker Wynn sends it across. Here comes Pajoli. And it's taken away from Pajoli. I'd say a couple Hillers to look out for. You got Jack Resnick returning, of course. He was one of the top scorers last season for this team. Out in front of the Westwood net and flung out of play along the far side. Parker Wynn was tremendous last year and really helped lead this Hiller offense. And, of course, James Hayward returning for his junior season.
Heard all of those names. On one thing that I coached Westwood for a few years in hockey. Hopkinton is always a talented team, but they're always a hard-working team. They really have no problem. When you had guys like Carasso going in the corner, winning battles, and then taking it to the net, it was something that would give any TVL coach nightmares at night when you're going up against those guys twice a year.
Right. Dalton takes a shot, turned away. So, and I'll tell you, it's quite a physical rivalry, Hopkinton and Westwood.
Yes.
And Hopkinton Benfield's another one. There's a shot out in front of the net. Diving down, and the puck's still loose. Battle for it along the end boards. Hillers are trying to knock it in off the deflection. Finn Mahone got in there, but Westwood just able to keep it away. But it was Holland trying to cover it up with the glove, and he plopped the glove down, missed the puck. But good defense by Westwood to keep this game
a good shot.
1-0 Westwood lead.
All started from a good shot. Holland got the initial one. The rebound just kind of surfaced in front of him. And some good looks there, but nothing to take from it.
Along the near side now, trying to dig it out of the corner. Pedroli flinging it across was, how do you pronounce number 3, Sicular?
Sicular, yeah.
And Westwood going to drive in, take a shot. Good save. It was Connor Ryan with the shot. We'll get a face-off.
Looks like they got the Donovans playing with Connor Ryan. Lewis now playing on the Blomquist line for the Wolverines.
7:45 and counting left to go in this action-packed first period. Corey DaCosta trying to move it up the far side boards. Here comes Hayward. Looking to close in, and the shot by Pedroli turned away. Along the end boards now, sent out in front, and a defender got a piece of it as Pedroli was looking for the quick shot there. Resnick along the corner, gets it back to Pedroli. To the near side it goes. Hayward delivers a big hit. Handled by Moore, he'll send it across. Carter Moore was a big piece for this team last season too, and as the season went on, became bigger and bigger of a piece for this Hiller team. And there's a shot off the attempted pass by Mahone, and a good save.
Not only just a good save, but he forced that rebound towards the side of the boards, where you want to get that puck away from traffic. So great placement on the rebound from that save.
Wynn takes a hit in the corner. And now trying to dig it out of the far side corner. Finn Mahon, as he is pinned to the boards. Back and forth we go. Now coming out with it, Ian Tosca. Sent to the corner. Merkel.
Is that the same Ian Tosca who's been around the last few years, or is it a sibling?
That is the younger brother, and a new face on this Hopkinton Hiller team.
His brother was a big player, big guy too, last several years.
Certainly was.
A thorn in our side. I think it was a lacrosse player as well. I thought he played a spring sport as well.
He played some lacrosse, was a big part of that team, big part of this hockey team as well, and now we'll see what the younger brother Will Ian Tosca can do.
We got a penalty on Westwood, Tom. So penalty on Brian Sullivan. Hopkinton's going to be on the power play here. I'm not sure what the penalty was, but power play for Hopkinton. Going to have the face-off in the Westwood zone.
This is going to be the first power play opportunity for the Hillers this game. Just over 6 minutes left to go in this first period. Sent to the blue line. Hayward sends it across. With it is Wynn. Rister, and that's turned away. Pinned up along the end boards by Dumais, trying to burn some of that power play time. Along the corner now, Pedroli, and Pedroli locked up with Dumais. Shot from the left circle, just wide. Off the deflection, Hayward takes another one that was deflected. Hayward with it now, sends it up to Merkel. Back to Hayward. Hayward at the point, gives it over to Merkel. Hiller's trying to find an opening to work their way into the interior. Rister there, and a nice save.
Big save by Holland. What it does for Westwood is it allows you to change up the guys. They looked a little tired out there. They're kind of running around. You know, Hopkinton did a good job moving that puck around. Westwood was chasing a little bit, but that big save, tying it up, allows Westwood to put some new guys, some fresh legs out there.
5:15 left to go in this quick-moving first period. Matt Pedroli delivering a hit off the face-off. Hayward sends it to the far side. Back to Hayward now from Wynn. Hayward working his way up. That puck knocked away. Flung along the far side by Jack Fallon. Westwood trying to get the puck away to not allow the Hillers to take advantage of this power play, but Hopkinton doing a nice job for the moment, keeping it in Westwood's zone. And there it is, Nolan Lewis able to
the goal
get
scorer.
It up the near side.
So this is where, on a penalty kill, Tom, this is where you want to be able to get a turnover is on the entry. You want to stay stiff on your own blue line to make it difficult on that entry. So when Westwood gets it out, that's a great thing. Now you want to be able to steal the puck here. You can be more aggressive in the neutral zone, and that's more difficult for teams to get in, but also where the penalty killers are able to take advantage of getting a turnover.
Finn Mahone on the shot there, and that's turned away.
And the penalty's expired, so back to 5-on-5.
Well, good PK by the Wolverines.
Some good looks, though, for Hopkinton. They moved the puck well and, certainly showed what they can do on the power play.
Jammed up along the near side corner. Finn Mahone with Patrick Dalton. Now the puck escapes. Along the far side we go. Here comes Westwood. Dalton looking for an opening. Dalton matched up with Lucas Anderson. Jammed up along the corner.
Dalton, one of the top golfers in the state, finished third in the state championship individual.
Oh, wow.
Heck of a year for him in the Westwood team.
Ryan Tosca
big
with a
hit.
shot there. A nice glove save by Jack Holland.
It's a big hit there by Sicular right after the shot. But as you mentioned, Tom, these teams very familiar with each other. You know, they respect each other as competitors, but I think they certainly want to, be very physical with each other out here. There's been some history over the last few years between these two.
Well, I'd say that's the way it is all throughout the TVL.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, especially the Norwoods, the Medfields. These are it's not just one rival these days. You have multiple rivals, especially when you're vying for a TVL large title.
Well, Medfield's in the TVL small now. Maybe they won't be as physical.
That's true. Yeah, small. The TVL large is where all the hits happen.
That is not true at all.
I'm just kidding.
Those TVL small teams, they're feisty.
They're tough. Medway is always a tough team. Norton, the last few years, Norton's been very, they're always, and Dover Sherborne.
They're a program on the uprise as well.
So Dover Sherborne at one point last year was in the Globe's top 20, all divisions. They ended up winning a state championship, and they're in the TVL. So.
All across the board.
Do you remember 2 years ago when every single TVL team in the MIA won their first round game? It was.
Yes, that was wild.
Yep.
Here comes Westwood driving in. Lewis, and a save there. Covered up by Spavento.
Oh, a great move by the sophomore. And his game is just gone up tremendously this year. The speed that he's brought, the confidence. I think when you come and you play as a freshman, by the time you come back sophomore year, you're feeling like a senior, a junior or a senior with just the mileage that you've gotten as a freshman. And kudos to Westwood coaching staff that have been playing the freshmen over the last several years.
Yeah, it's always good to get those younger guys in there, and I think that's what makes for a successful program. As there's a shot there turned away. Wolverines really getting some good pressure here. Looking to drive back in is Fengler, but it's taken away. Flying up the ice, Hayward. Hayward with a backhander. Across to the near side he goes. But when you can get those younger guys in there and build them up early on, that's what's going to make for a great run.
They're going to make mistakes, but you can't be afraid. And the key is, I think, where was a good look there by the Wolverines. The key is make sure they don't make the same mistake twice, but make sure they're also not afraid to make mistakes out there. So that's where they really start playing their game and getting some flow.
Here comes Dumais trying to fly up the ice. Lewis.
Offside.
And we'll have an offsides call.
So quick period. Minute 34 left.
Flying by.
Tom, just want to give an opportunity to say how appreciative we are in Westwood with HCAM and what you have been doing, not only just for Westwood away games, but the TVL in general, TVL Sportsnet. Incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Your coverage has been fantastic, and it really highlights what a tremendous league all our teams play in.
Well, a big thank you to you guys over at Westwood Media Center for the great content you send to help out with the show, and the several other stations helping us out.
Yes,
get some great game content, and it's really just, I'd say it's a team effort amongst all the TVL community access stations. But the show, a lot of fun to do. And I'll tell you, I was busy this fall with all those playoff runs we had to follow.
You were following TVL teams, so shout out again, Tom. I saw you at the Westwood playoff game in Hopkinton. You were there filming. And then you were at Bellingham girls volleyball, Medfield girls volleyball.
A lot of state championships we had to get to.
Yes. Oh, just missed on that connection. It was from Matt Donovan.
We're going to get an icing call here. 1:04 left to go.
So this is, as a coach, last 2 minutes, or even more so, the last minute, you do not want to give up a goal. And the big reason is if you give up a goal, you have all period to think about. When the Zamboni's on the ice in between periods, you have all that time to think about it.
Right.
So it's a huge momentum deflator or shifter if you're able to get one or give one. So you really kind of want to, you want to put your guys out there for that last minute, making sure they keep it out of the net.
That shot by Spavento turned away along the near side now. Sent up by Donovan. And a nice pass by Wynn. Hiller's trying to close in, as taking the shot is Mahan, and it's a glove save by Holland.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the Hopkinton roster, a lot of young guys.
There is.
A lot of young guys. A lot of, and I see a lot of freshmen. I'm seeing at least 7 freshmen on the roster. It's kudos to Coach Scott Hayes. He knows how to coach, his teams well over the years and doing it with some young guys. Impressive.
Yeah, they lost a good amount of seniors last year, and we'll talk more about that later in the broadcast. But a lot of new faces this season. But they had a great year at the JV level last season, so they are very optimistic. Coming out with it, Blomquist puts it in front of the net. Wolverines with some last-second pressure sent away into Westwood territory. Slow roller. And Sullivan will pick it up and send it up the far side boards. Wolverines hoping for one last drive up the ice. Blomquist at the buzzer, and that's going to do it. An action-packed first period, but after one, it's the Westwood Wolverines 1, the Hopkinton Hillers nothing. 2 more periods left to play. Any final thoughts about that first period?
No, just kind of what I expected. Just 2 teams getting their legs going. 2 teams that were kind of feeling each other out. I'd expect, they're gonna pick it up again for the second period. We're gonna see some more goals as well.
Absolutely. Well, a fun first period. 2 more to go. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss the conclusion of this one. It's Hopkinton Hillers boys varsity hockey on HCAM. The winter season opened up this past week for the Hopkinton Hillers on Thursday, December 12th at the Milford High School pool. As Hillers Swimming hosted Dover Sherborne, here's a look at what happened. Dover Sherborne boys and girls both ended up taking the wins. DS boys won 89-69, while the DS girls won 95-71 in the very close season opening meet. Hiller girls basketball opened their regular season on Friday, December 13th by hosting Norwood at the Hopkinton High School Athletics Center. Steve Spector and myself, Tom Nappy, were on the call.
25 seconds left in the half. Here comes Restaghini.
There it is.
It up. Nice pass into the low post, and Abby Rabinovich finishes it off.
Right on cue, Tom. You called that one.
Cordani gets it over to the wing.
Need a stop.
5 seconds left.
No foul.
Markey feeds it up. Cordani down the lane. No. And that'll do it. Good defense to close out the half by the Hillers. They get a nice bucket. They do trail by 10, but still very much in this game. Driving in along the baseline, no good, and the Hillers have it. 3 shot opportunities for Norwood, but they can't finish. Restaghini down the lane, around the defender, yes! Feeds it up the sideline, drive it in, Chorus. The kick out, back to Becker for 3, no good. And a nice rebound, but Blake can't finish. Norwood still has it, however, as Chorus collects, feeds it up top, and knocks down the swisher. Isabella Morgan with a big bucket.
After being outscored in the first half, 20-10, the Hillers went back and forth with Norwood in the second half with a 24-23 second half frame, but it wouldn't be enough. Norwood takes the season opening win 44-23. Sophomore Julia Chatton led the way offensively for the Hillers with 8 points. Hiller boys basketball captured a road win in Norwood to open their season. The Hiller boys took the victory 53-43. On Saturday, December 14th, Hopkinton Dover Sherborne Girls Hockey Co-op started their season with a meeting against the Norwood Mustangs at the New England Sports Center in Marlborough. The Hillers got things rolling in the first period.
Jean lost her balance there. She got tripped up. Norwood looking to put on some pressure, but coming away with it, that is Jean. Lucy Jean, she can fly up the ice. Towards the net, backhands it, and it's a score! Lucy Jean with the first score of the season for Hopkinton Dover Sherborne. It comes at 3:32 left to go in the first period. And what a way to start for the Hillers. Over to the near side, Barossa flings it into the neutral zone. Here comes Savannah Rivera. Rivera from the left circle, and it's in! Rivera wrists it towards the net, and it was deflected off of Tenori and in. 2-0 Hillers.
Lucy Jean and Savannah Rivera net goals in the first frame. It was 2-0, Hillers leading into the second period.
Well, last year, this Hopkinton Dover Sherborne team, they finished strong. And apologies, I mentioned that they made the playoffs last year. It was actually the year before that they made the playoffs. They had a short roster last season and dealt with many injuries. So they finished just short of the postseason, but in their final 5 games where they started to get a lot of the injured athletes back, they racked up some good playoff points. They had 2 wins, 2 ties, and a loss. Loose puck out in front, and it's stuffed in. Going 5-hole, Savannah Rivera. Well, the goaltender, Tenor, she lost track of where the puck was, could not find it. Escaping with it for the moment is Malley. She sends it back and stolen away. Here comes McPherson. McPherson flying towards the net, takes it and rips it in. Kelsey McPherson makes it a 4-1 Hopkinton Dover Sherborne lead. Well, I'll tell you, Kelsey McPherson may be an 8th grader, but she doesn't play like it. That was just great stick work, great speed, excellent puck control, able to just fly up the ice and ring it in glove side.
Hopkinton senior Savannah Rivera nets her second goal of the game. in the second period. Also, 8th grader Kelsey McPherson nets a goal and had an assist as well. And with the great goaltending from Hopkinton 8th grader Emily Coito, it would be plenty to lead the Hillers to victory as they take the 4-2 win over Norwood and start off their 2024-2025 season in the W column. The girls next host Medfield and a 4 p.m. game at the New England Sports Center on Wednesday, December 18th.
Welcome back into the New England Sports Center. You are tuned in to the Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey season opener. And tonight it's a TV large matchup. Hopkinton Hillers, Westwood Wolverines. Tom Nappy on the call alongside Morgan Donahue from Westwood Media Center. A little rivalry announcing action tonight.
Oh, we're buddies.
Absolutely.
We don't have. There's no checking up here. No,
That's right.
We are TVL fans.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm very glad that you decided to work with us on the broadcast, and I'll be going down to visit
Absolutely.
you guys when the Hillers come to your arena. So
it provides a nice perspective of the other team and the athletes, and it's fun. Community media is, it's a big part of, I think, our sports in the TVL, and also just what makes everything fun. And we got some good ones in HCAM and Westwood Media Center.
Absolutely, and it's great teaming up with you guys on the TVL show, and I'm sure we'll do some other broadcasts together throughout the seasons and days as well. Along the near side, for those of you just joining us, Westwood in the green, Hillers in the white. Westwood working right to left across your screen for this second period. They lead it 1-0.
So keep an eye on the ice, Tom. The ice is still a little bit wet, and typically right in front of the goal crease area. That's where the last kind of strip of where the Zamboni driver goes. They typically start on the outsides. So still wet down in the Hopkinton defensive area, right in 10 feet out in that triangle area. So keep an eye out there. It's still not fully frozen yet.
We'll have to put one of those slip caution signs out there.
Caution sign. Yeah.
Well, sometimes when it's this wet, they'll wait for it to dry a little bit.
Yeah, seen
but
that.
They didn't want to wait tonight. So
No.
Here we go. And you just saw Lucas Anderson get a little slipped up.
And the thing is, 8 o'clock game, the refs, everyone wants a quick game, go home. It's school night as well. They don't want to be here too late.
Right. But you got to go safety first, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Into Westwood territory along the end boards, sent around by Brian Sullivan. Here come the Wolverines up the near side and taken by Merkel. They'll send it across. A very back and forth game, a lot of turnovers.
Yep. Some tight checking in that first period. I expect we're going to see some more opportunities here. Teams are going to flow a little bit more, after they got their feet moving in the first period, and we're going to certainly see some more opportunity shots on net here in the second. Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't the prettiest passing by either side, really, in that first period. And, both teams kind of just feeling each other out a little bit. I think they're starting to get more into their element now, but that's kind of what you would expect in the first game of the season.
Absolutely. Westwood's second game of the season. It was also, we watched Division I, Pope John and St. John Shrewsbury. They were kind of dealing with the same. Early in the season, getting their feet under their, getting their feet moving and getting a good flow going. It takes a couple games to really get into full swing of things.
And the puck going to end up out of play. We'll have a face-off at 12:52 left to go in the second period. Tom Nappy, Morgan Donahue on the call. We got Andy Ritz on camera. One of the best in the business.
Legend. And father as well, legend.
Right.
Hopkinton legend.
Along the near side. Trying to stuff it in there. It's turned away.
That was a good look there by Pat Dalton. Took it to the net. Puck just scored off his stick, and that's what we were talking about. That wet area is it can slip off your stick, and it can also stick.
Yeah, I
within
mean,
that
I'm
one.
seeing a good amount of slipping out there.
Yeah.
Along the near side, Resnick. Resnick approaching. That shot turned away. Stick saved by Holland. Along the corner now. And it is sent up the near side, handled by Wynn. Gets it over to Spavento. Trying to work his way up the ice, contested by Brady Dumais. There's a wrister off the side of the net. Jammed up along the end boards now. Westwood with it.
Oh, smart play by Dumais. He waited an extra second or two and then found that lead pass there. It was a roll in the neutral zone. It was a great play.
Finn Mahan just wiped out there. And there's a push delivered by Merkel. Puck still trapped along the near side boards.
Hopkinton doing a good job keeping the puck in the zone. Westwood trying to get it out, but Hopkinton, smart on that blue line. They're not taking big risks by staying there. It's, calculated risk and able to keep that in, get some extra looks on the Westwood goalkeeper, Jack Holland.
When we get an icing call, we'll have a face-off at 11:14 left to go.
Both teams running 3-4 lines, which is great to see. Really showing the depth and also the future of these young kids getting into the mix.
And Resnick had a good look there, but took a swing and a miss. Along the far side, Leighton. He'll send it up. And the Hillers trying to get some momentum going, and they weren't keeping it in Westwood's zone all that long towards the end of that first period, so they're trying to establish some momentum, and so far they've done a nice job of that in the second period. But now here comes Lewis, and he's going to be diverted. And now getting the stick in there, Blomqvist, and it's shoot away by the Hillers defense.
That was a great pass by Sullivan finding Lewis, a hard pass, and kudos to Lewis too, able to handle it.
DaCosta approaching wrister and just misses.
That was a great look there, heck of a shot. I don't know if that caught a piece of the post, had an interesting deflection or angle that it took after the shot.
Moore sends it around and up the boards goes Sullivan. Westwood has some open ice to work with. Blomqvist takes a hit.
So this is also, both teams have the long change now, Tom. So to really get a good change, you got to get that puck in very deep to allow for your defense to come all the way across that ice to get on the long change and not be caught, as you're seeing them change right now.
That shot just off the mark by Dumais, and now we'll have a stoppage here with 9:43 left to go. Puck went out of play.
Are most of the home games, are they 8 o'clock games or are they different?
All kinds of different times.
Yeah. We used to have 8 o'clock games at Ponkapog back 15, 20 years ago, and it was real home ice advantage when you're playing that late in a barn. Teams don't really like playing in.
Well, typically during the week, it's either 4, 6, 8, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the weekend, that could be really any time. Into Westwood territory, it could be 10 in the morning or 8 at night or sometime in the afternoon.
And the practice, do they practice here as well?
Yes, they do, yeah.
Westwood.
And there's also the home of the girls team as well.
Yes.
And they share this rink with 5 or 6 other high schools, as Donovan just misses on that shot.
Girls played before. Tom, you were covering that game, played Medfield.
It was their second home game of the season, third game of the season. Medfield got the win in that one, but close competitive game. It was scoreless till the third period, but then the Warriors offense was able to net a couple and took the win 3-0. Here comes Donovan, and that shot just off the mark. Donovan had a good look, but put it just wide.
Off the official's
foot there. And now racing up the ice, Merkel. Merkel gets it over, and Ian Tosca, the one-timer, sends it just wide.
That was a good 2-on-1 look. Puck was going to be iced, went off the official's leg, and then ended up being a 2-on-1. Good look there on a one-time opportunity for Hopkinton.
Bringing it around, Merkel. And Westwood gets it back. Good steal there. Along the near side.
We're going to get a penalty.
And yeah, big hit there.
Let's see who it's on.
You would know better than me because unfortunately I have some
Tough
fans
angle.
in front
Very
of me.
tough angle. I believe it's on Westwood. We'll see who. It's going to be Brian Sullivan. So Brian Sullivan with the penalty. It's going to be a boarding call. So Hopkinton back on the power play. Westwood looking to get another successful kill. They had one penalty kill in the first period, able to get through that one unscathed.
I'm surprised. I think this is only the second penalty of the game.
Yeah, you know, it's been
Usually
physical.
It's about 10 by now in this
especially
rivalry.
these two, amongst these two.
I remember last season there was a game and there was just a whole lot of penalties.
Yes, there was one at the Canton Ice House on our senior night, and I think you could, if you counted up all the penalty minutes, I think it was over 100 in the game.
I believe I was actually watching that one, but the one here also had a lot.
Oh yeah.
Win along the far side. Back and forth with Merkel along the boards. Merkel sends it across over to Hayward. Hayward trying to shake the defender
Blomqvist.
and sent up ice by Blomqvist. Westwood might have a break here. Nolan Lewis. And he's going to leave it there. Wynn will pick it up. I think he didn't want to draw the offside call, maybe.
I think it was kind of a smart play. You know, if you take that, you got another guy coming on you. He figured that's another 5 seconds off the clock by a little misdirection.
Right.
So if you can get an additional 5, like it all adds up.
Merkel with a wrister, turned away.
Nice pad save there by Holland.
A secondary shot by Merkel, and that's turned away.
Timmy
Up
Donovan.
the ice it goes. Here comes Donovan approaching, takes a shot, and it is
What a save. What a save.
going to be a tremendous save by Spavento. Westwood thought they had the goal.
Yeah, the guy coming on, who I think it was brother Matt Donovan, was selling it for him. But it was a great save. I mean, how about that speed, though? Tim Donovan in his defensive zone. And I didn't think that, I thought that puck was going to get closer to the goalie than, you know, or the goalie would have came out and grabbed it. His speed, he was able to close that window to get on that, have that opportunity, beat the defenseman as well.
He was
with
just
a great
flying.
look. Yeah. Definitely, he was one of those players I mentioned to keep an eye on. That speed is tops of the TVL.
With it now, Matt Donovan, he'll send it up. Off the end boards it goes, collected by DaCosta. And bringing it up, Merkel. Merkel to DaCosta. Sends it across. Spavento takes a shot. It's a glove save, and then a big collision as Merkel comes crashing in.
There we see a little bit of the rivalry coming out.
There we go.
But that's what happens in the rivalry is, you know, put pucks on net, you know, get to the goalie. Sometimes there's some contact. Sometimes, you know, you're in their grill and they don't like it, but that's part of the rivalry.
Absolutely. And both of these teams, they just play hard.
Yeah.
They're gonna go for the puck wherever it is, and they're not afraid to crash in.
Well, that's what started the little Donnybrook 3 years ago, where it took about 15 minutes for the refs to figure out all those penalties.
Right.
You remember that Saturday night? That was
a wild one.
I was on the bench for that one. And the refs had the penalties wrong too, but they just had to put people in the box. They're like, you get in, 10 minutes. You know.
Yeah, there was a long pause to figure out all that.
Oh, it was an all-time call too. It was, you know, I remember you saying you can't do that at this level, and just what a on-the-spot live. That's what's great about live coverage is just some of the calls, and they're not always for goals. So that's an ice. So that was sent down as the penalty expired. So going to be an icing on Westwood, the face-off coming back in Westwood zone.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people will tell me something I said. I'll be like, I said that?
It's amazing when you're in the moment of these live games. You're in the zone, so you don't remember a lot of what you said. You have to go back to the replay sometimes to see. Oh, I did say that.
I'm sure it's like that away with coaching as well. You're just so into the game that nothing
emotions
around you going on really matters.
Coaching hockey too, the blood pressure goes up a little bit, so that makes it a little difficult to remember. But yeah, it's very similar type of, in the zone, type of feelings.
Squirts out into Hiller territory. Layton sends it up, and Westwood has it. Around it goes to the near side. Laney sends it behind the net. Back and forth along the far side boards. Battle for it. Trying to come away with it is Rolfe. Sent across. Rolfe jammed up in the corner along with Layton. Shot from the circle, just off the mark.
Connor Blaney really playing on another level this year. He's a sophomore, another kid who last year made the team and got some minutes as a freshman. Very impressive player for the Wolverines last year and coming into this season as well.
Along the far side now. Westwood quickly back into Hiller territory, stolen away by Ian Tosca.
So, Tom, I just got a text from an old high school buddy, Mark Zarther. He's the Chief Strategy Officer of the Florida Panthers. He's tuned in right now watching.
That's terrific.
Shout out, Mark. Doing good things in hockey, and Westwood High grad, class of 2005.
Coming up the far side, it's Lewis. Around the defender he goes. Wrister, that's it! What a goal for Nolan Lewis. The sophomore strikes, and it's 2-0 Westwood.
My goodness. The move he had there, and then to go bar down on the finish. Very impressive goal for the sophomore. Just when I thought I was already very, very impressed with him, with how he's played this year, there's a much higher ceiling than I thought there was. What a finish.
That was a great shot. Comes at 4:18 left to go, and the Wolverines in business.
His dad, a Westwood guy, his uncle, Tim, Westwood High School player, also played at Boston College.
Wow. That's a very good
impressive
hockey family right there.
Yes. So Tim played at Westwood for 4 years, and I believe he did a post-grad year at Avon Old Farms and played at Boston College in the early to mid-90s.
Covered up by Holland. We'll have a face-off.
But Westwood got such a proud tradition, especially with the alumni. So number 15 on Westwood is Sean Blomquist, captain. He's on this team. His father played for Westwood. They're both part of the 41-year playoff streak for the Wolverines. So Westwood has made the playoffs 41 years in a row.
Wow.
It's the longest in Massachusetts hockey history and still ongoing. And it's pretty cool to see, that Sean's father, Scott, both part of the same, history-making organization, or hockey program.
That's terrific. Yeah, the Hillers program, relatively younger than the Westwood hockey program.
Westwood dates all the way back, to the 60s, but the likes of guys like Dave Rice, Chris McWade, in the 70s were pillars for Westwood hockey with coach Kevin Crow, who came in and changed the program.
Oh, there's a shot turned away.
That was a good look.
Westwood putting the pressure on now. That was Matty Donovan with that first shot, and now we'll get a whistle here as I think the puck was deflected out of play, or actually the net became dislodged. Well, I'll tell you, the Wolverines really bringing the heat now.
Yeah, they're feeling the game right now. And it's kind of, the thing is, too, is when you're in your first game, second games, you have new line combinations. You're getting used to playing with new guys. You also have guys who are getting their first varsity action. So there is that, process where it takes a little bit to get into your stride.
Well, I'll tell you, this Hiller team only has 4 seniors on the roster.
Yeah.
So they're a
young team.
Younger team, yeah.
They're playing great. I mean, they're playing, you wouldn't know unless you look at the roster.
Right. But, this is what these early games are for. You work out the kinks and get things going. And a lot of new combinations you got to get used to play with. But here come the Hillers now, looking for some pressure. Pedroli.
That was a great move by Pedroli.
He got by the defender and could not get the puck out like he was looking to do there.
Got a hand pass, and I think the face-off's going to come all the way down in Hopkinton's area of the rink.
We'll get a face-off at 2:44 left to go in Hiller territory.
2 minutes 40. Another quick period.
Just flying by. Off the face-off, there's a shot just wide of the net by Luke Martin. Along the far side, Martin trying to dig it out for Westwood. Parker Wynn in there.
So Martin and Lewis, cousins.
Top of the circle, trying to stuff it in, and it is covered up. Net becomes dislodged, and a little bit of extracurricular activity.
That was a great job by Spavento. Kept that pad solid. You know, nothing, Westwood wasn't able to push that into the net, but great save and able to get the cover for the faceoff. Westwood's going to change out their D, put Dumais back out there with Fengler.
Along the end board, Spavento. Puck comes out. Along the near side corner now. Spavento digs it out. And here comes the Hillers, intercepted there by Lewis. End of the right circle now. There's a shot turned away. A shot by Blomqvist. Back and forth along the near side, coming out with it, Hayward. Hayward sends it over to Resnick. Resnick looking for the give and go with Hayward, but a defender gets in front of it and takes it away. It's Dumais. Back to DaCosta. DaCosta moves it up to Merkel, and long shot there, turned away. Jammed up in the corner. Coming out with it, Rister, and deflected out of play.
What a block by Dumais. He got in front of that shot, able to get a piece of that, went out of play for the face-off. But that's what you need out of your D. It's not just getting maybe a stick on it, but you got to get in front of those. They hurt, but you know it's a very unselfish play to get in front of a puck like that. He's coming off, looks like he's in some pain, but what a play by Dumais.
Well, Matt Pedroli was on the shot there. One of the many new faces to the team in his freshman year. Along the near side. Sending it out from the end board, Zion Tosca. Into Hiller territory. Sent up by Moore. And back down by Donovan.
So a minute left in the period here in the second.
Westwood looking for something here out in front of the net. Turned away, and there's a shot from the left circle. Deflected.
That was a big time block there. 18 Carter Moore for Hopkinton on that block shot from Brian Sullivan shot from the point.
That was a rocket of a shot from Sullivan.
Oh, nice one-touch pass.
Looking to close in is Donovan. Donovan jammed up in the corner, contested by DaCosta. Now getting in there, Merkel. Trying to escape with it, Ian Tosca. Puck comes loose. Sends it out towards the slot, no one there. Sent around by Parker Wynn. On the far side now, and that's going to do it for the second period. After 2 periods of play, it is the Westwood Wolverines 2, Hopkinton Hillers 0. Hillers got some good pressure, some good shots. Great goaltending by Jack Holland for Westwood. But the Wolverines certainly, I'd say, won the possession battle in that second period and got some good pressure going. And the Hillers, they're just going to have to see if they could bring the heat in that third period to get back in this game. Any final thoughts about that period?
Yeah, just thought it was both goaltenders stuck out to me, had some big saves. And as you mentioned, Hopkinton down 2, they want to get that first goal, cut that lead in half. It's a different game. When you cut that lead in half, Westwood's playing a little bit, more on their heels, and Hopkinton's got a little pep in their step. So that next goal is going to be the biggest goal of the game, but certainly going to be talked about by both coaches going into the intermission. But great second period. Looking forward to the third period.
Absolutely. 15 more minutes to go. An action-packed game. Season opener for the Hopkinton Hillers. Game 2 for the Westwood Wolverines. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM and also airing tonight over in Westwood on the Westwood Media Center channels. Stick around. Third period coming up in just a few minutes right here on HCAM. And right now we have some of the latest Hopkinton Hiller highlights.
The winter season opened up this past week for the Hopkinton Hillers on Thursday, December 12th at the Milford High School pool. As Hillers Swimming hosted Dover Sherborne, here's a look at what happened. Dover Sherborne boys and girls both ended up taking the wins. DS boys won 89-69, while the DS girls won 95-71 in the very close season opening meet. Hiller girls basketball opened their regular season on Friday, December 13th by hosting Norwood at the Hopkinton High School Athletics Center. Steve Spector and myself, Tom Nappy, were on the call.
25 seconds left in the half. Here comes Restaghini.
There it is.
It up. Nice pass into the low post, and Abby Rabinovich finishes it off.
Right on cue, Tom. You called that one.
Gordani gets it over to the wing.
Need a stop.
5 seconds left.
No foul.
Markey feeds it up. Gordani down the lane. No. And that'll do it. Good defense to close out the half by the Hillers. They get a nice bucket. They do trail by 10, but still very much in this game. Driving in along the baseline, no good, and the Hillers have it. 3 shot opportunities for Norwood, but they can't finish. Restaghini down the lane, around the defender, yes! Feeds it up the sideline, driving in, Chorus. The kick out, back to Becker for 3, no good. And a nice rebound, but Blake can't finish. Norwood still has it, however, as Chorus collects, feeds it up top, and knocks down the swisher. Isabella Morgan with a big bucket.
After being outscored in the first half, 20-10, the Hillers went back and forth with Norwood in the second half with a 24-23 second half frame, but it wouldn't be enough. Norwood takes the season opening win 44-23. Sophomore Julia Chatton led the way offensively for the Hillers with 8 points. Hiller boys basketball captured a road win in Norwood to open their season. The Hiller boys took the victory 53-43. On Saturday, December 14th, Hopkinton Dover Sherborne Girls Hockey Co-op started their season with a meeting against the Norwood Mustangs at the New England Sports Center in Marlboro. The Hillers got things rolling in the first period.
Jean lost her balance there. She got tripped up. Norwood looking to put on some pressure, but coming away with it. That is Jean. Lucy Jean, she can fly up the ice. Towards the net, backhands in, and it's a score! Lucy Jean with the first score of the season for Hopkinton Dover Sherborne. It comes at 3:32 left to go in the first period. And what a way to start for the Hillers. Over to the near side, Barossa flings it into the neutral zone. Here comes Savannah Rivera. Rivera from the left circle, and it's in! Rivera wrists it towards the net, and it was deflected off of Tenori and in. 2-0 Hillers.
Lucy Jean and Savannah Rivera net goals in the first frame. It was 2-0, Hillers leading into the second period.
Well, last year, this Hopkinton Dover Sherborne team, they finished strong. And apologies, I mentioned that they made the playoffs last year. It was actually the year before that they made the playoffs. They had a short roster last season and dealt with many injuries. So they finished just short of the postseason. But in their final 5 games where they started to get a lot of the injured athletes back, they racked up some good playoff points. They had 2 wins, 2 ties, and a loss. Loose puck out in front, and it's stuffed in. Going 5-hole, Savannah Rivera. Well, the goaltender, Tenor, she lost track of where the puck was, could not find it. Escaping with it for the moment is Malley. She sends it back and stolen away. Here comes McPherson. McPherson flying towards the net, takes it and rips it in. Kelsey McPherson makes it a 4-1 Hopkinton Dover Sherborne lead. Well, I'll tell you, Kelsey McPherson may be an 8th grader, but she doesn't play like it. That was just great stick work, great speed, excellent puck control, able to just fly up the ice and ring it in glove side.
Hopkinton senior Savannah Rivera nets her second goal of the game in the second period. Also, 8th grader Kelsey McPherson nets a goal and had an assist as well. And with the great goaltending from Hopkinton 8th grader Emily Coito, it would be plenty to lead the Hillers to victory as they take the 4-2 win over Norwood and start off their 2024-2025 season in the W column. The girls next host Medfield and a 4 p.m. game at the New England Sports Center on Wednesday, December 18th.
Welcome back into the New England Sports Center. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. It's the season opener. Hopkinton Hillers, Westwood Wolverines, and we are ready for the third period. We are underway. Hillers working left to right across your screen. Driving in, there's a shot turned away. That's shot by Matt Pedroli right off the bat. Now here comes Westwood. A swing and a miss there by Luke Martin as the defender's stick got in front of it. It's covered up by Colton Spavento, and we'll have a face-off.
Buckle up, Tom, for this third period. I'm expecting a lot of back and forth. I mean, right off the bat with that opportunity by Hopkinton. It's going to be a fun-filled third period we got here.
Absolutely. I think both teams kind of have their feet under them now, and I think you're going to see some good back and forth here. Already a shot by both sides in the first 30 seconds of this period. Tom Nappy alongside Morgan Donahue on the call. Andy Ritz on camera. Driving in, a backhander, and it's covered it. Hayward trying to sneak in, and Holland able to cover it up.
I think the bad ice helped that out a little bit, too. It took the fastball off that backhander with the wet ice right there in front of the net. A shout out to Drew Donegan. He's been posting updates of the game in the HCAM coverage on for Westwood Hockey's Instagram account.
Oh, that's terrific.
It's awesome.
Big thank you for that. That is awesome. Along the near side. Here comes Maddie Donovan. Sends it over. And there's a shot turned away. Jammed up along the corner now, right in my blind spot.
Yeah, tough seeing a little fan section in the way as well.
Right? Yeah, students section showed up a little bit for tonight's game. Get students from both sides. Merkel trying to drive up the ice, getting the stick in front of it was Donovan. Along the far side now. Merkel takes a body check against the boards by Tim Donovan.
Here's the skater, Timmy Donovan.
Donovan was trying to split the defenders. Luke Anderson able to knock it away. There's a shot from the top of the circle, a saucer into the end boards. Trying to backhand it was Fallon, but the Hillers hold up, working into Westwood territory, but now with it is Sullivan. Ryan Sullivan sends it over to Dalton. Dalton looking to approach. Back and forth we go along the boards. It's a battle sent across by Blaney.
So some quick shifts here early on in the third. You know, coach is trying to get those legs, fresh, get good looks. You know, Hopkinton right off the bat.
Shot by Resnick.
Another good one
away.
there.
Here's Dalton.
Back and forth.
Yeah, it really is. It's unbelievable. Dalton puts it off the back of the net.
Big hit there by, that was Rivera on the hit on Dalton behind the net. For the physicality picking up here in the third period.
It certainly is. Along the far side.
Oh, another
big hit delivered there.
Parker Wynn. Dalton taking a couple big hits this shift. Tough kid, gets right up, shakes it off.
Yeah, I'm sure that's one of the things that the Hillers talked about during the intermission. Get physical.
Get physical. Because what happens when you become physical is you start playing different. When you see that check coming, you brace for it, so you try to get rid of it, and that's when you cause turnovers. And that's when, you know, other teams take advantage of that and put a quick one in the net to cut the lead in half, and then all of a sudden it's a one-goal game. So makes a difference.
James Hayward up against Blomquist. Sent over to the near side. Another big hit delivered. Pedroli trying to dig it out, matched up with Luke Martin.
Oh, we got a 2-1.
And here comes Westwood. Blomquist comes away with it.
Got Lewis on the other side.
Racing up the ice into the circle. There's a shot turned away.
Big save. That was a good look. Blomquist had Lewis off to the right, got a shot and a big save there by Spavento. He's been terrific all night.
Around the end boards, Pedroli sends it towards Hayward. Hayward sends it out, looking for Resnick. Resnick will wrap it around. Puck squirts out, collected by Lewis. Lewis will fling it into the neutral zone. Into Hiller territory it goes.
Little chip and chase there. Spavento, only a sophomore for Hopkinton. Very impressive. They got a terrific goalie who's going to have, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, and he got some good experience last season as well and held up nicely.
You don't see too many of those righty glove goalies anymore. It's great to see, old school right glove goalie. We got an interference. I don't know who that's on. We'll confirm. By the looks of the face-off, it looks like it's going to be on the Hillers, and it is.
So it's going to be a Westwood power play. As taking a seat is going to be Willa and Tosca with the interference call.
So Westwood going to get their first look at a power play here, and Hopkinton, it's going to be their first penalty kill of the game.
10:45 left to go in this third period. And that's right, this is Westwood's first power play. Usually they'd have about 4 or 5 opportunities by now.
Well, a lot of them are matching penalties too. It's been somewhat tame for the rivalry tonight.
Well, the physicality is definitely picking up in this third period. Over to the point to Lewis.
Don't want to speak too soon.
Right.
Wolverines had a power play goal in their first game versus Holliston Ashland. I think they had 2 power plays. Went 1 for 2 on the power play with the goal by Brian Sullivan.
Closing in and just missing on the backhander was Blomquist. Along the far side, puck squirts out in Wolverines territory. Lewis sends it over to Blomquist. Blomquist racing up, able to get around the defender, and it's deflected away.
This is where Brady Dumais makes his money here. Watch the power play. When he moves the puck, he can do a lot of things with it. Great shot.
There's a shot by Sullivan. Jammed up along the corner now. Coming out with it, that is Blaney. Rister, just wide. Rolfe gets it back to the point. Now top of the...
Here's Dumais with the
circle.
shot.
Dumais, there's a shot, and it's covered up by Spavento.
Some good movement there. Good job by Spavento. He had some traffic in front of him, but still find a way to get the glove on that. The rebound kind of bounced out in front of him and then able to get the glove back on it for the face-off.
It looks like we're going to have another penalty here against the Hillers. So we're going to have a 5-on-3 for the next, 32 seconds.
Yes.
And then it'll be Westwood with the man advantage for another minute and a half after that.
So Altman with the penalty for the Hillers. This is something you don't practice too much. It is practice, but you're going to have more 5-on-4s than 5-on-3s. 5-on-3s happen only a few times per season.
Yeah, you certainly want to try to avoid them, especially against a good shooting team like Westwood. And there's a save there. And right off the bat, they get a good shot by Matty Donovan.
That's what you want to do if you're Spaventa. You want to get saves and also face-offs. If you need to get new guys out there, but saves where there's no rebounds, that's how you want to handle a 5-on-3.
Off the face-off, top of the circle, and the defender getting in front of the attempt by Donovan.
Got a broken stick on the ice. I'm going to say offside. So that could have been interesting. It was a broken stick on the Hiller player. If Westwood kept that in, that would have been interesting. It would have been a 5-on-2.
Yeah.
But offside face-off's going to come outside, and there's still about 10 seconds left on the 5-on-3.
So that was kind of a break there for the Hillers.
It was, yeah. Yep.
I believe. And that looks like Tim Donovan, or excuse me, Lucas Anderson on the face-off for the Hillers. I don't know, it was 23 rather, Resnick.
You had it right, though, for Westwood. Tim Donovan on the Westwood side.
Collected behind the net by Dumais.
These entries are so important. You want to get it in where you have possession, boom. Skating it in is the easiest way to get a nice, clean entry.
Donovan bringing it around, takes a big hit. And now looking to drive in was Lewis. Jammed up along the end boards. The Hillers just going to try to keep it pinned, burn some of this power play time. Able to burn some clock there. It's a man advantage now for Westwood. There's a shot. And just off the mark there. A lot of power on that one from Donovan.
Wow.
Another one.
That was Lewis to Donovan twice. First one was a great look, just missed on the net. Second one, Spavento got in front for the save.
Some good goaltending there by Spavento.
Still 36 seconds left on the power play.
Matty Donovan with it, sends it to the blue line. Dumais. Rister, glove save.
That was a physical last minute, especially in that corner. Both teams jockeying for position on loose pucks.
Certainly was.
50-50 battles are such a big part of TVL hockey. Is the teams that are coming out of those corners with those 50-50 battles where both players have the chance. Those are the teams that are really built for long playoff runs.
Right. Along the far side, sent over to Dumais. Dumais gets it back over to Blaney. Blaney to the right circle, and the shot going to be covered up. And Brian Sullivan would have liked to get a little more under that attempt.
It was a long pass. I mean, those are tough one-timers to do when it comes from distance. There was a little sauce on it too. But some good looks still. Even, with a little kind of a whiff on that, you got it on net, and you know what? You have some traffic in front and some rebound opportunities.
Off the face-off. Back to Dumais. Over to the circle to Sullivan. Along the end boards now.
And penalty expiring now.
And there's a wrister. Puck is loose out in front, brushed away by the defender. Hillers looking to clear the zone, and they will. Into Wolverines territory, but not for long. Here comes Wynn. He'll put it up the boards. Hillers in the midst of a change. And the Hillers certainly relieved to get that change in there. Those guys were starting to look tired that were out there.
Yeah, that was a long shift, but a productive shift. They were able to get the kill and also get the puck into Westwood territory.
And able to kill off a two-man advantage and stay in this game. But time certainly starting to run out a little bit for the Hillers. 6:32 left to go. And we'll get a face-off coming up in Hiller territory. There's a wrister, just wide. Yeah, backhander, and that is going to be deflected in, but...
No goal because the net was off.
Big break for the Hillers.
Ref blew the whistle before that puck went in, so no goal. But the net was off.
That would have been Connor Ryan with the score.
Yeah,
but
good backhander.
Certainly was. Huge break for the Hillers. In the slot, there's a backhander just wide.
It's a good look. Matt Donovan.
Jammed up along the corner now. Along the near side and coming out with it. That pass deflected away from Connor Ryan. There's a good feed by Tim Donovan. Donovan gets it out. Wrister there, turned away off a defender by Matty Donovan. Back to the blue line, into traffic goes Nolan Lewis.
Hiller's doing a good job blocking shots, getting in front of him.
Lewis takes the shot, turned away.
Got a delayed penalty coming. It's going to be on Hopkinton. So Westwood going to go back on the power play here with 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third. This penalty is on James Hayward.
So Hayward going to take a seat for 2 minutes, and I'll tell you, the Hillers having a tough time clearing the zone. This power play for Westwood certainly not going to help. On the face-off, it's going to be Connor Merkel up against Sean Blomqvist. And that one off the side of the net. Yeah,
whistle.
The net come dislodged.
Again, yeah.
I think it did.
When you get a lot of games on the ice, though,
there's a lot of action
holes, those holes aren't as deep as they used to be, you know, and easy for the pegs really aren't doing much.
Well, they host a lot of different tournaments here, and then you have the high school games. There's a shot deflected into the glass. That one was off the stick of Connor Blaney.
Not only just blocking shots, but Hopkinton doing a good job getting sticks on these deflections, getting these pucks over the net, to the side of the net, just with getting a good stick on these shots.
Blomqvist takes a shot, turned away. Another shot there. Matty Donovan on the secondary shot, and now Nolan Lewis with a shot, turned away.
Westwood buzzing right now on the power play.
Westwood just with a barrage of shots here. There's another one. And the net comes dislodged again as Pavento made the save and fell back into the post.
The old school coffin cover. He got on top of it, but he's doing a good job going side to side. These one-timers, we've seen a bunch of them, and he's got to respect the shot from the point, so he's got to protect that post. But to come across and get in front of those one-timers, very good athlete, doing a terrific job getting across.
I'll tell you, he's been busy tonight.
He has. He's had 40 shots, I bet.
There's another one.
Yeah.
Tied up here. Oh, that's probably going to get a call.
Yeah.
Tim Donovan, and
Westwood's going to have another 5-on-3.
Win.
So Westwood's got to let them touch the puck as soon as you can. You want to get as much time with the 5-on-3 as possible. So
they pull the goalie for the extra attacker, but
so they'll have 53 seconds of 5-on-3 action. 4 minutes, 33 seconds left in the game.
Well, big opportunity for Westwood here in the late stages of this third period. And what will be interesting is when they meet up over at Westwood's arena to see how much these teams have changed, especially
big time
in the Hillers' case since they're so young.
Big time. I remember we played Hopkinton here, won 7-2. The puck just kept going in the net. You know, we had a great game. We felt good about it. Hopkinton was like one game away from getting into the playoffs. They beat us in our barn to get into the playoffs. So they were a completely different team by the second time we played them. It was, the teams are very different from start to finish.
They certainly are. And the good ones typically improve,
yes,
such as these two programs.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. You get, the younger kids, especially, a team like Hopkinton, a lot of young kids, they're going to have a lot more games under their belt, a lot more confidence that, I can play at this level. I can be a pretty good player at this level.
Right. And the Hillers like to participate in a lot of the holiday tournaments, as I know Westwood does as well. Nolan Lewis along the near side. Sends it over, Rister. And it is a good save there by Spavento off the Matty Donovan shot.
Matty Donovan has had about 6 looks over there, and Spavento has been a brick wall on any shot that's been coming from the right half circle over there.
Now, was Matty Donovan with the varsity program last year?
He was, so he had a very good season last year. I think he had a bunch of points. A big shot there.
Shot nearly went in. It was off the shoulder of Spavento from Blaney. Along the near side, coming out with it, Lewis sends it across. Back to the left circle now. Blomqvist loses it, regathers along the boards.
So one of the penalties expired.
Comes out with it, takes it, and it's a save.
So one of the penalties expired, so 5-on-4 now. Minute left in the 5-on-4. 3 minutes, 32 seconds left here in the game.
I'll tell you got to give the Hillers credit on the penalty kill. They've done a nice job
battling through. And it starts, the most important player on those penalty kills, the goalie.
Right.
He's been terrific.
He's had to come up with a lot of saves, especially in these last few minutes. Blomqvist.
He's had some screens too. He's able to battle through all of that, and a good job by the D. They're protecting that front of the net, making sure that Spaventa can see it.
Jammed up in the corner. Now coming out with it, Lewis sends it across, one-timer, and it is off the end boards. Along the corner, Westwood doing a good job at maintaining possession on this power play opportunity.
That was a great stick there by Pedroli. It was a clean look on a one-timer. He got enough of the stick to disrupt that pass. We got a whistle, so I don't know what that was.
The net came dislodged again.
My goodness.
That is a problem here sometimes.
Problematic net on the left side here at rink 1. The goalie's best friend is a dislodged net. You have that, a little bump every now and then.
Popped off the boards, back to the point, Dumais. Rister, that's turned away, puck is loose. Coming out with it, there's a shot. And now sent around by Pedroli. Out of play it goes.
So 3 seconds left in the power play. I'd imagine once they become 5-on-5, we're probably going to see the goalie come off somewhat soon, especially being down 2. You want to cut into that and then have enough time if you can cut into that lead to get the tying goal as well.
Along the corner.
All even.
With it now is Donovan. Sends it around. Finds Tim Donovan. Sent up by Spavento. And now here comes the Hillers. Merkel closing it and just misses with that one.
That shot was so hard it came out of the zone. Hiller players had to tag up to go back into the zone.
Along the far side into Hiller territory.
No icing. They're going to say play it. So inside 2 minutes, 1:55 left here in the game.
Good clock burner there for Westwood. Parker Wynn racing up, and he lost his footing.
So interesting. Goalie's still in the net, and I just remembered, with the power rankings, goals do matter. So some teams don't pull the goalie. We do. So we're getting the goalies off. We have 6 skaters on the ice right now for the Hillers.
Hayward comes out, an empty net.
Lewis looking for the hat trick.
And it was deflected off the Lewis shot, and some nice defense there by Sam Spavento.
I love to see Scott Hayes going for the win. This is what you want to see. I remember a couple years ago we played Ashland. We were up 2-0. They did not pull the goalie. They wanted to keep the 2-goal for the power rankings. So I like seeing teams try to win the game, try to get back and win a game.
Hayward racing in, and that shot just wide.
So a minute left.
Hillers would love to get that 0 off the scoreboard. Back to Sam Spavento. Out in front, and
penalty on Westwood.
We're going to get a penalty.
Yep. Cross check. I think it's going to be on Brady Dumais. So we'll see a 6-on-4 with the penalty, but it allows Westwood to be able to ice the puck, send the puck down the ice without any icing calls. So we'll definitely see a timeout called here, and it looks like we are for Hopkinton.
So we're going to get a timeout on the ice. A 2-0 Westwood lead. And we will take a timeout as well. You are tuned into Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM.
This program is brought to you in part by TVLSports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at TVLSports.net. TVLSports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school.
We are ready to continue on off the timeout. Power play opportunity for the Hillers. They're going to see if they can at least get that 0 off the scoreboard.
So we're going to have a 6-on-4. What you'll see is you're going to try and get some traffic in front of the net. They want to win that back, get 2 guys minimum in front of the net, but 2 guys on the puck at all times. If the puck's in the corner, you're going to see, 1 extra guy. But Westwood looking to send it down.
Long up the ice and
no ice because it's a penalty kill.
Right.
So that's going to take time off the clock. 30 seconds left here in the third in the game.
Yeah, that's all you're looking to do really if you're Westwood. Just get that time off the clock and
again,
maybe an empty netter if you could.
Yeah.
Along the corner, Wynn gets it up to Pedroli. Pedroli racing up the far side. Looking to close it, backhands it out in front. That shot just wide. And the Wolverines might be able to net another one here. Donovan closing in, backhands it, and they'll get the empty netter. The finisher delivered by Timmy Donovan.
That's a rewarding goal from him. He's been doing everything tonight. He's been taking a lot of hits, giving a lot of hits, and rewarding goal for a kid who's been a terrific player for the Wolverines tonight.
Well, an impressive night for Westwood. They lead it 3-0. And we are in the final 10 seconds, and that's going to do it. Westwood Wolverines going to come away with a victory in Game 2 of their season, 3-0. The Hillers losing Game 1 of their season. But this Hopkinton team, they're young and they looked good out there against a very good, experienced Westwood team, and certainly looking forward to watching this Hopkinton team grow. And Westwood, looks like you guys have a great team as well this year, so I'm sure you're excited for what's to come this season as well.
Certainly excited. There's a Westwood team full of seniors and sophomores, majority. But, I think having that game under the belt was a big a confidence boost of getting the rust off a game earlier. But these are going to be 2 teams that are going to see each other later in the season, where I'm sure there'll be a TVL large title on the line for that game. So Westwood, I interviewed Sean Blomquist after the last game, and I asked him about this game. Is it something that he had circled? He said absolutely. They have not beat him, these seniors. So they've not beat Hopkinton. So this was something that, they definitely had a little extra in the, lead in the pencil for this game, just wanting to get a W versus the, always talented, always hard playing Hillers.
Absolutely. Well, game one in the books. We'll
Yes.
meet again later in
Absolutely.
the season, and I look forward to calling that game with you
gonna be a
as well
blast.
over on Westwood TV. But this
Yeah.
was a lot of fun, Morgan. Thanks for joining
Well,
us.
thank you so much for having me, Tom. And like I said earlier, fantastic job. You know, what you're doing with the Tri-Valley League and Hopkinton coverage is terrific. And we are so thankful in Westwood to all the great things that you've been doing, highlighting these kids.
Well, thank you very much, and thank the folks over at Westwood Media Center for all their great content that they send over for the show. We really appreciate it. Show's a lot of fun to do, and we'll have more episodes of TVL Sportsnet
Absolutely.
coming in 2025.
Looking forward to it.
But we're going to wrap things up here tonight. In Game 2 of our Hiller doubleheader, Westwood gets the victory 3-0. For Morgan Donahue on the call with me and our camera person, Andy Ritz, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching Hopkinton Hillers Boys Varsity Hockey on HCAM. Take care, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.